Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Homestand TV. I am your host, Celine Trimarchi, alongside my co-host, Justin Pooni. Justin, before we get things started, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Celine. It's raining outside, but we're finally getting into a rhythm now between me and you on camera now. You're not taking any more vacations. No more off days. You're actually here in the studio talking hockey, and I love it.
I'm no longer sick.
That is true.
That was my thing. I was sick for so long. But anyways, so Mitch Marner, let's get straight into my Maple Leafs. So Mitch Marner, he is on a heater. You like it?
You said you were going to use it.
I said I was going to use it, and I still use it. So he extended his point streak to 17 games with a goal in the Toronto Maple Leafs win against the Detroit Red Wings 4-2 on Monday. They swept the road trip 4-0. Solid performance by the team. And now Marner is just one game shy of the Leafs record, which was set by Darryl Sittler in the 70s and tied in the 89-90s by Ed Olczyk. Now, can he do it? Will he continue this heater? You think
I think so. I mean, San Jose is not a very good team. I know they beat the Leafs earlier this year, but they're a rebuilding team. The Leafs, like you mentioned, are on a very, very impressive streak. Yeah. The month of November was dominant by them. They had a great month, and it pains me. It pains me to say that. I hate saying that, but I have to speak the truth. The Leafs are playing very well. And Mitch Marner, it's more than just the point streak. It's the fact that he's playing a 200-foot game. And I think that kind of gets lost in the shuffle when you're talking about the points, because the points are like the sexy stat, right? Like everybody loves talking about the points, right? But Mitch Marner and head coach Sheldon Keefe has said it's his 200-foot game that's been most impressive, and I expect with everybody in the locker room knows or that he's close to breaking a record or tying a record, right? They're gonna be force feeding him so he can get that, right? Yeah. It's gonna be on everybody's mind. They're gonna want to do that for Mitch Marner, so I do expect him to have at least a point tonight against San Jose.
No, I completely agree with you as well. And Marner's play has really improved too since the beginning of the season. I mean, the Leafs weren't off to the greatest start, but they really did improve, like you were saying, within like the month of November. And despite all the injuries that we've been dealing with in the back end, Marner's really showed up defensively, and so has Hall, like I kind of mentioned before.
Your boy Justin Hall, the guy you talk so much smack about. You're actually giving him his flowers.
I'll just one time. Okay, that's it. Okay. Just one time. But no, Marner, he finds the pucks, finds teammates, connects passes, and like he's always searching for those turnovers. And kudos to the kid, and I really think that he will.
Yeah, I think the thing with Mitch Marner is, it's the same thing. He's a very good player. Do I think he's top 5 player in the NHL? I don't, but I think Mitch Marner is a very good, solidified all-star player in the NHL. Right, we need to see if he can transfer that into the playoffs, right? But right now, what he's doing is very impressive. It's very, he has been more consistent this season than Austin Matthews. It is what it is, right?
Yep.
He's been much more consistent than Austin Matthews, and I think that bodes well for the Leafs, because once Matthews starts getting into gear, right, and kind of hits that stride and hits that scoring goals again at a much better rate, it will be helpful for the Leafs, because Mitch Marner's been rolling all season long pretty much.
Well, actually, going off of that point, I was going to get into the Leafs' overall performance, and that included Austin Matthews and even Michael Bunting. Now, the Leafs are 4-0-0 without Riley, and they're 7-0-2 without TJ Brodie. They're also 10-1-4 in their last 15 after completing, like I was mentioning, their 4-game sweep. Now, Matthews has really stepped up. Now, he finally started scoring at full strength again.
He scored in Detroit. Right.
And even Michael Bunting, he has 4 points in his last 3 games. Nylander has goals in his straight games. So the team is really starting to connect a lot better now.
Yeah, they are. They're playing a lot better. And we're seeing, the signs of the team that was last year that broke all those records, right? Yeah. That was the best team. And statistically, in Maple Leafs franchise history, let's see, right? I think I feel like we're going down the same cycle where things are looking great, but you got to temper the expectations a little bit. Hey, this is good, but it's also, we've seen the regular season before. With this team, we know what matters. It's all about what happens in April. Yeah. What really matters. So as long as they stay in a playoff position and they get home ice in the first round, all that matters is really April, right? Yep. We'll see what happens to how the goaltending continues. It's on a good trajectory right now, but we'll see how that plays out for the rest of the season too.
Well, Samsonov is going to get the start in net tonight.
Not your boy,
against
Matt
the
Murray. No
San
more
Jose-
knocking the nets off.
No more knocking the nets off. Thank God he did not do that again. That would have been just.
What did we say? We said on
embarrassing.
Monday, well, the league's going to be watching,
Yeah.
and he didn't do it, so.
And we would have gotten a hefty penalty, and he would have gotten a hefty fine, and that's something that we don't need to deal with.
No.
No. So quickly, before we jump gears here, San Jose, Toronto, give me a score prediction. Quickly, anything. Throw out a number.
Like 4-1 Toronto.
4-1 Toronto. Okay, I'll do 4-2 Toronto.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll
okay.
one up you on that one.
Well, you won up for San Jose. You should have said 5-1 Toronto, then you would have won up me.
Okay, let's not talk about math right
I got you there.
now. It's still early. It's not
okay,
processing. It's not processing. Now, keeping with obviously a hard playmaker, top skilled player, going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame eventually when the time comes, Alexander Ovechkin.
The grade 8.
The Great Eight, yes. So, Alexander Ovechkin passed Wayne Gretzky for all-time NHL road goals at 403
Against which team?
against your Canucks.
Not a good night last night.
Not a good night. Not a good night for the snow either. last night.
The city of Vancouver's under a snowmageddon right now. It's not good.
Take this in quickly before we continue. His highway shut down
Yeah.
in Vancouver. When would that ever happen here in Toronto? If it snows,
so we have hills and stuff like that, and it's very hard to drive with. And I will say this, Vancouver drivers, when it snows, you guys don't know what the hell you're doing. The city shuts down, so yeah.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on. Now, Ovechkin did this in just 652 road games compared to Wayne Gretzky's 742. Now, Ovi sits just 101 goals out from tying the all-time goal scoring record. It's absolutely insane. I mean, Ovechkin averages 50 goals per season.
Pretty much, yeah.
And at 37 years old too. Like, that's pretty unbelievable. Now, he has a couple seasons left with the Washington Capitals.
On his contract, yeah.
Yes. Do you think he's gonna break it?
Well, Bruce Boudreau said when he was talking to the media, when he was talking about Alex Ovechkin, because of course he coached Ovechkin for all those years in Washington, he said he's not retiring until he breaks that record. And I think that's absolutely true. I think Alex Ovechkin, he won his Stanley Cup, right? He's the greatest, in my personal opinion, Alex Ovechkin is the greatest goal scorer in NHL history, right? He's not going to stop until he breaks that record. Barring injury, Alex Ovechkin will not retire until he breaks Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal scoring record.
And when do you think that's going to happen?
Well, so he's 101 away, right?
101 away,
so
yes.
He's got
I mean, I'm saying
3/4 of this season left.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be at, maybe say 25 more goals this year? 25, 30 more?
What's he at right now?
I don't know.
13 right now.
He's at 13. So say 2013 right now this season. So say if we're being really nice and he gets 48 goals this year, right? That's another, so the math in my head right now, that's another 35.
Okay, don't look at me.
35, 8, okay, so it's like 80 something, 70, 65 something goals, right? It'd probably be not next season, but the season after, in the beginning of the year. And I think by then, Alex Ovechkin can then retire. Right, it's done, it's over.
Yeah.
He can retire. But I think it's just so crazy that when Wayne Gretzky retired, you would never expect someone to break one of his records, because like we talked about before, he's got more assists than second most player has points, right? But the
great one.
But the fact that Alex Ovechkin is basically 100 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal scoring record is absolutely crazy. And I think when it happens, it's going to be amazing. And I think it shows how great of a guy Wayne Gretzky is. He's pulling for Alex Ovechkin to break his record.
But would you want to see it broken?
Of course. Would you not want to see it broken?
I mean, the great one. I'd rather him just have all the records in the NHL.
No, see, Wayne Gretzky's the greatest hockey player of all time, for sure. No question about it. But Alex Ovechkin, to see somebody break that record would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I just like having
Oh,
him.
because he's Canadian, I get it.
Oh my God, that has nothing to do with
No, look, Wayne Gretzky, there's no doubt that Wayne Gretzky's not the greatest player of all time, but Alex Ovechkin, for what he's done goal scoring wise, because back when Wayne Gretzky was playing, goalies were wearing no padding.
Yeah, it was a different generation.
It was a totally different
there.
game back then, right? Like games were ending 10, kind of like the game between Seattle and LA last night, 9-8, right? Yep. And there's so much more scoring, so much more wide open. And there's a lot less, the talent pool is much less. What Alex Ovechkin is doing in this NHL, for how long he's been doing it for, I think he's the best goal scorer of all time.
Well, it's only a matter of time until the Great 8 surpasses the Great 1.
Oh, I like that one. That was a good
Right?
one.
That was clever, right? That was
Yeah,
clever.
yeah.
But that's all from me and Justin today on the Homestand TV. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back on Friday. And let me end off on this note. Go Leafs, go.
Ew.
Again.
Ew.